Hello, my friends, and welcome to the live stream. Hello. Hey. Oh my gosh, so good to see so many of you here. Hey, it is good to be back. It has been a hot minute since we did one of these, huh? Don't worry, I'll talk about why that is in a moment. But welcome back. I think probably, so you will have noticed that we are tonight live streaming on the main Philosophy Tube channel, not on Philosophy Tube Live, the second channel, but here in the central palace, inside the heart of the tube. We'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. But I think there's probably going to be a lot of people who are tuning in for the first time, who've never seen one of these post-mortem live streams, or perhaps didn't even know I do these. So after every episode of Philosophy Tube, I do a post-mortem live stream where I talk about how we made it and what the feedback was, and just I go through some of the fan art and some of the comments. I'll tell you a little bit about the books I read to research it. I'm also going to do a new section of the live stream tonight where I tell you about the books I'm reading currently, because I know that's something a lot of people are interested in. So if this is your first time hearing about the postmortem live streams, I see somebody, Sambu Jate, says there's a second channel. Yeah, I guess there was, but for reasons we'll talk about in a moment, I decided to kind of broadcast from the central tube zone tonight. But welcome. So we always have some things that we like to do when we start a live stream. Those of you who are veterans of the postmortem live streams, you'll know these already. We always like to say that the chat is a chill place for chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool. So please be nice in the chat. If anybody super chats me over the course of the stream, then I always do my best to read those out. Probably a good idea to keep your questions and comments short if you want to super chat me and have me read them out, just because, the chat does tend to flow past pretty fast. And the other thing that we like to do when we start a live stream is we like to light a little candle just to set the mood. And there should be some soft music coming into your ears right now. You should be able to hear that. So let me know. Keep checking in with the music levels over the course of the evening. But I will go and I'll just light us a little candle. There we go. Oh, and also we've already had 2 super chats. Thank you so much to Steven Zwenskis for all the Vampire X's out there, and for Liv Av, wondering whether you'd lost the postmortem stream. It did take a bit. Yes, it did. So the reason it took a little bit of a while to get to this postmortem stream is I was in LA doing some work on Dracula's Ex-Girlfriend. There's not much I can tell you about it, but I'll be back in probably May to finish filming it. But I had a blast out there. Yeah, and then I had Kill James 1 live last week. Thank you so much to everybody who turned up for Kill James 1 live. That was a blast. Aiden Rutter says, I love your top. Thank you so much. My little Marilyn Monroe sheer top. I got it in a thrift store in LA while I was out there. So, but anyway, we are broadcasting tonight from Philosophy Tube, not Philosophy Tube Live, the second channel, but from Philosophy Tube, just Philosophy Tube, just the original, the OG, the OTP. Wait, that's something else. The reason for that is so I wanted to know, how can I go above and beyond? Oh, that's the little chime. That's the noise that plays when somebody super chats me. My computer just made a bringing noise, but I missed who it was. Oh, hello. Oh, it's just they're appearing in the bottom right from earlier on. Oh, yay. Okay, so yeah, I was thinking I want to go above and beyond for my audience. I want to like do more because I've been reading this amazing book. You know what? Let's start off with Abby's what am I reading at the moment corner. So what am I reading at the moment? I've been reading this. It's called Unreasonable Hospitality. It was recommended to me by a friend who said, this is my Bible. And I was like, oh wow, that's kind of a strong term. But the book is written by the guy who is the manager of the best restaurant in the world, like officially. And it's about how he turned it from a restaurant that was pretty good to top in the world. Thank you so much, Anarchist Tech Support. I've never read Sterner. So a lot of the things he talks about in the book are how to manage a team, how to be a team leader, and the subtitle is The Remarkable Power of Giving People More Than They Expect. So it's a kind of like business, inspirational, kind of like a very American sort of tale. But I did really enjoy it. I'm halfway through. I'm getting a lot out of it. So one thing I've learned is that one thing I've been reflecting on is I'm somebody who's very, very self-critical. Thank you so much, Pilkington Productions. I'm afraid they've all been cast. I'm somebody who's very self-critical. 1 second. Thank you so much, Squid Pope. You're so welcome. That's really kind of you. I'm somebody who is... Try one more time. Eliza Diana Galatea. Did you get LA without a hangover to Kim Petras? Yes, I did. I was not hungover after Kim Petras. I was very good. I did not drink Kim Petras actually. Oh my gosh, and super chat from Left Handed too. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's your third ever super chat on a live stream. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay, somebody, that lone white guy 991 says turn the music down a little bit. No problem. Let me turn that down a little. Okay, as I was saying, I've been reading this book, Unreasonable Hospitality. It's by the manager of the best restaurant in the world. And he talks a lot about leading a team and how to inspire people that you lead. And I am somebody who's very, very self-critical. I'm often quite down on myself. I'm also somebody who does not take compliments and praise well. If people are ever, giving me, a round of applause or something, I'm always like, no, please don't. And I realized that I kind of need to grow out of that because part of leading a team, like for instance, being the executive producer on a film or writing a film or being the lead actor in a film, part of that is being able to not necessarily lead the team because that's like the director's job, but to at the very least like stand at the head of the team. And to be there, like honest and open and vulnerable. So I'm getting a lot of stuff about that from this book, and like really thinking that I need to grow out of that self-critical habit and sort of believe in myself a little bit more, which is nice. The other thing he talks about, as the title sort of gives away, is unreasonable hospitality, giving people more than they expect. So people may expect, just like when they go to the restaurant, they might expect 3 courses that they order. Be like, okay, we'll give you like this, and we also take really good care of you, and we're also really nice, and like the whole experience at this restaurant is apparently, I've never been. It's called 11 Madison Park. It's in New York. I've not been yet. My friend who gave me the book wants to take me. But the whole experience is apparently designed to be just, unreasonably hospitable, right? And so I thought to myself, okay, how can I go above and beyond for you, my audience? And so I just asked. I asked on Twitter and I asked on YouTube community posts. I said, what do you expect from the show? And how can I go beyond your expectations? And like, what do you want? What do you want to see more of? And a lot of people said that they want to see me do some short form content, some unscripted content. They want me to talk about books more, and to talk about in particular the books I read for researching the show more, and that they want to hear about my acting work more. And I was like, oh, that's very interesting, because I already do all of that on my second channel over on Philosophy Tube Live. And I was like, that suggests to me that what I'm doing is fine. I just have a discoverability problem. People don't know those live streams are happening. Hence, tonight, and if it works from now on, we'll be broadcasting these postmodern live streams from Philosophy Tube, the main channel. So more people can know about it, and more people can get exactly those things that they want. So my plan is, After the live stream, I will download the video and I will be sending it to a team of editors who work through standard Nebula, because people have been very, very kindly. Thank you, The Unknown Factor, for that super chat and for providing a timely example. People like you, The Unknown Factor, have been generously super chatting me some money, and for a while that money has just been like sitting in the kind of like super chat zone of the Philosophy Tube bank account, and I've been thinking, okay, like how can I use that in an effective way? And so what I decided to do was like, okay, after the live streams, I'm going to download the VOD. I'm going to send the VOD to a team of external editors who are going to cut it into like a 10-15 minute highlight reel. And then when that's ready, I can upload that to the channel. So people who can't watch the entire live stream can just get a little bit of bite size. So you're getting a little bit more kind of short form, unscripted content from me to kind of like tide you over a little bit. And then I can also send it to Fiona, the lovely Philosophy Tube social media manager, and she can clip little like 45 or 60-second bits here and there. And those can go on like the TikTok and the Instagram and stuff, so you can get all the short form content too. And the last stage of my plan is this. I would like to also start doing some live streams about my acting work, because, for instance, I was in Baldur's Gate 3 recently, and people are always asking me questions about it. I thought maybe I would do a live stream where we just like acting talk. I was in Baldur's Gate 3 is like my working title, right? And I would just talk about the acting work and like what it was like auditioning, and what it was like, you know, being in the recording booth, and what it was like working with other people, and like what I think of my performance and stuff, how I prepared for it. And then I can also talk about Django and stuff that I've done before. And when Dracula's Ex-Girlfriend comes out, I can talk about that. My rule for the acting streams is going to be, I'm only going to talk about the project once it's out. Not even when it's announced, when it's actually out, for reasons that will make sense. Well, basically, I don't want to like get you hyped up and then it turns out I've been edited out of the final thing, right? So when it's finally out and I've had the chance to watch it, then and only then will I do a live stream about it. But I also figured that like, I filmed a couple of things last year which haven't been announced yet, but when they do, I think people will be very excited about it. One of them is supposed to be announced in a few weeks, actually. I mean, that's what they told me, but whatevs. And I think people are going to want to hear about those an awful lot. So I think I do want to do some live streams about my acting too. So more streaming content from me, and this is as well as Philosophy Tube. More streaming content from me, clips of those live streams, and also, yeah. Well, there you go. Majila Chenson says, didn't you only do these streams? Glad you're on the main channel. Well, hey, it's already working. And the super chat that you send me is going to go to the editing team so they can cut it down and do a great job. So, hey, that's why we're here tonight on the main tube zone, tube station. The tube station. So yeah, that is all to say, welcome to the post-mortem live stream. Normally, what we do in these streams is we talk about the last video that I made, and I'll explain to you a little bit about like how I made it. Will the stream be posted on the second channel like an archive? To be honest, I'll probably just put it here. I'll probably just leave like a playlist here. I don't see why there'd be like a second. Not really see it's necessary to have like a second one, you know. We'll see. I'm experimenting. We'll see. Eliza Jane Smythe says, have you read Clementine Ford's new book? I don't. I'm afraid I haven't. An episode about marriage. I can think of a few people who might have some opinions on that. But no, that sounds like an interesting essay though. So yeah. Okie dokie. Well, why don't we talk about, and apologies if I take my eye off the chat for a moment here. Why don't we talk about the last video that I made? Not the last, like not the final, but the previous video that I made. It was called Why We Can't Build Better Cities, FT, Not Just Bikes. And if you are, sing along with me. If you're a long-time viewer of the show, of the live streams, then you will know that I have 3 criteria that I use to judge the episodes when I make them. Thank you so much, Daniel Williams and Chai Haran. So I have 3 criteria that I use to judge episodes when I make them, and if it fulfills these criteria, then I know I'm happy with it. So the first is it made from curiosity, not ambition? Now, I think this one definitely is. I really followed my curiosity on this one. It was a topic that took me by surprise, and I think... I didn't expect to be making a video about this, and I'll talk more a little bit later on about what my research process was and why I decided to do this one. Hey, not just bikes is in chat. Woo! Hey, welcome, Jason. Welcome. And you already have the wrench power. Amazing. So that's the first criteria. Curiosity, not ambition. Check. My second is it my unique creative vision? Thank you so much, not Ryan, for that super chat. And to Lady Frankenstein 83. Hey, good to see you back again. So the second criteria is it my unique creative vision? And I think definitely, yes, it is. I was really excited when I learned that the building I was born in was turned into luxury flats. I was a little disappointed, but I did think, oh my gosh, that's a great hook to open a video on, isn't it? That opening bit about this is the building I was born in, and now it's all luxury flats. I was like, oh, that's a really good, interesting way to start a video. And then much later on, I had the idea of also filming in London. So that was good, and I think these looks, the looks that we did, the first was the cowgirl. So any fans of Django will notice that is Jess's hat from Django. I kept it after we wrapped, as that's the same hat I wore back then. We'll talk a little bit about the looks later on if you want. But yeah, and then we had the Phantom of the Phantasm is what I called this look. So I think this is definitely, my unique creative vision. Yes, definitely. Check. And the third one is it made out of compassion for myself and others? And yes, I think it is. I think I have tried to be as compassionate as I can, especially to people who are stuck in the phantasm. Was it made out of compassion for myself? Maybe. I think I worked very hard on this one, and it was also quite a costly one. So I do think maybe I could have made it in a healthier way for me, but it was definitely yellow light rather than red light in terms of working too hard, which is the thing that I do suffer from. I work too hard a lot. I stress myself out. So this one was definitely yellow light rather than red light. I guess I'd prefer it to be green, but still within acceptable limits. So yes, I'm gonna give it a big check there. So those are my three criteria. Oh my gosh, thank you so much to one cooler guy who says, who super chatted for $20.69. I was trying to think of a fun way to derail the stream for a bit as a way to pay the YouTube tax. Please explain, you were in Baldur's Gate 3? I know that at this point it's a completely irrelevant question, but now I must know. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe let me start from basics. When I'm not on YouTube, at all times actually, I'm a professional actor. Thank you so much, Nick Benzema. I'm a professional actor, so I do, and to Fix Nerd, thank you. I'm a professional actor, so I do, voiceovers, I do occasional adverts. I'm in a couple of big TV series that are going to be coming up later this year. I wrote a movie, I was in a play. So one of the roles I did was I'm Nocturne in Baldur's Gate 3. If you play Shadow Heart's questline all the way through the end, then you'll find me. I'm in the game, so there you go. Fun times. Thank you so much for your super chat. That's amazing. This is so generous. Wow. Thank you so much. You're all so lovely. I missed there she is, Diana. Not to be outdone. I missed you all. Yeah, I missed you all. This is good. It's nice to be back. I tell you what. I've actually had a hard week, acting wise. I was in I can't tell you much about it, but I was attached to play the lead in a series, a big series, and I've been attached to play the lead in it for a month, not a month, for a year. Sorry, we've been working up to pitching the series to networks. I didn't write it, I didn't produce it. I'm just they approached me, the creators of the series, and we want you to play the lead in this. I was like, oh my gosh, amazing. So we've been pitching it to networks, and so far networks have said no. We had like 2 rejections this week, which sucks. Like that's the nature of the industry, right? Is that you put a lot of unpaid work into something, and then the network just says no, we don't want it. So I've had a tough week in terms of acting stuff for that reason, because I was super hyped about making that series. It may still happen. Another network may pick it up, but it was just it was sad that we got the kind of the double rejection 1-2 like just a few days apart. So it's really nice to be back on the stream. It's really nice to. It's really good to be back. You know, I felt like I needed a win. So, and you guys have already been streaming 20 minutes, and just you're all so friendly and so nice. That it was just so lovely too. You were already making me feel like a winner. So, Diana never misses a beat. You know, part of me, Diana, was like, oh, I wonder if she's gonna pick up the fact that I've changed the channel tonight. But here you are. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. And hey, Christina M. Snyder, thank you so much. Oh, so you learning about Phantasms helped me understand some of my family members. You say, yeah, it's that's something we're going to talk about. Actually, a lot of commenters said that. Beatty says, do you ever worry that the content you make here might affect your acting career? Oh, it's your first super chat on a live stream too. Thank you so much, Beatty Moore. You know what? I used to worry about it, but now I think now I can sort of put the acting and the YouTube together in a way that makes them quite powerful. So like that's how we got The Prince made. That's how we're going to get Dracula's Ex-Girlfriend made too. And it opens up all sorts of doors. So I don't know. I think it's done me more good than harm, I think. James Dietert, thank you so much for that super chat. That's really kind of you. So yeah. Yeah, good to be back. Thank you so much. You guys make me feel like a winner. You're amazing. Now that we talked about the kind of like good spiritual good vibes, thank you, Connor Howell. Thank you for what do you say? You say, do you think the concept of super chats poses any ethical issues? I'm not quite sure what you mean. I guess no more than like tips do. I don't know. Answers on a postcard, please. Now that we've done the kind of like good feels, spiritual, like happy criteria that I judge it by from my own artistic growth, let's talk about the numbers. Let's talk about the business. Let's do analytics, right? Okay, so latest video. How do we do? How do we do on the numbers? Give me good numbers, Jimmy. Give me good numbers. How do we do on the numbers? It's me. Forest Gate. That was a fun day. How did we do on the numbers? The numbers were banging. Numbers, we love numbers. They're really great. It was the biggest opening week an episode of Philosophy Tube has ever had. We got 1 million views in under a week. I texted the crew when that happened in the crew group chat, and I was just like, guys, it's the biggest opening week ever. And they were like, woo! So that was really nice. Good to have, obviously. Usually if it gets over 120,000 views, 120,000 views in the first 24 hours, then I feel like I'm doing good. And it just fucking smashed it. It was like 500,000 in the first 24 hours. I was like, whoa, okay, great. I also ran a little experiment with this one. So you will have noticed that there was some text in the thumbnail. It was like, it's all luxury flats. And I'm like, first time I ever did that. You know what? I've stayed away from text in thumbnail for a while because I was just like, just don't really feel like my style. I don't want to do it. But it's kind of become the norm, and you gotta roll with the times. So I said, all right, we're gonna experiment with it. I'm gonna, let's do a side-by-side test, because you can do that on YouTube now. You can upload 2 thumbnails, and YouTube will test them both and tell you which one is more effective. I was like, okay, we'll do one text in thumbnail, and we'll do one kind of normal one. And we'll see how we get on. And text in thumbnail works. It works. Like it's like 3, 4, 5 times more effective. It's just like, bam. So may end up doing more of that going forward. Maybe not every time, but like, I'm gonna see, because that really, really worked. I was surprised, but also like the thumbnail that we came back with, that Simon, the thumbnail artist, designed, was amazing. So, and like 99% of how well a video does on YouTube is just text, is title and thumbnail. So, So, another section of the post-show analysis that we like to do is I call Transphobia Watch. Transphobia Watch. Boo, 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 boo. How much transphobia was there in the comments of this video? The answer this time was not much. Definitely some, not zero, but actually overall pretty good. I know that this video reached new audiences thanks in large part to Not Just Bikes. And it turns out, Jason, your audience are absolutely lovely, as I knew they would be. So, pretty pleased with that. Not too much abuse in the workplace. Yay! I like it when I don't get abused in my workplace. Great times. I still get abused a little bit in my workplace, but not much. So that's cool. Somebody in the chat earlier on said, how did you and Jason end up working together? Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit more about my research process in just a moment. But basically what it came down to is I messaged Jason on Slack, because we're Nebula family. We're both on Nebula, so we're all in a big Slack. So I just messaged Jason on Slack. I was like, yo, would you maybe want to be in an episode of Philosophy Tube? And he was like, yeah, sure. So that's how that happened. Oh, you got transphobic comments in your latest video because you called J.K. Rowling a raging transphobe? I am currently in Britain. I am currently speaking to you from Britain. I am speaking publicly from the Kingdom of Britain. You, Jason, called J.K. Rowling a transphobe. You said that. I'm speaking from Britain. I'm sorry you got those nasty comments. That's about all I can say. Starlorb3, you make an excellent point. Starlorb3 says, for every transphobia in the comments, there's at least 4 trans girls burning with envy. Well, I hope no one's feeling bad. But it's, I do at least, you're right that the positivity always outweighs the negativity, and that's nice. Trin. Hey, Trin. Trin says apologies about being in Britain. Yeah, well, yeah, there's 1 or 2 advantages, but not many. Oh, hey, I missed you. I missed you all. You're all good. Alex Gravener says, wait, is there a law? We don't have free speech protections in Britain the way that you do in the US. We don't have that. You gotta be careful what you say. Which is also why, Alex Tilson, I'm not gonna comment on your question, I'm afraid. Gotta be careful. Alewife, thank you so much for your super chat. It's your 3rd super chat on the live stream. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, and hey, Non-Anonymous! Hey, you're a long-time viewer of the streams. Oh my gosh, you're going to be meeting with a surgeon to discuss options for top surgery. Wow! Congratulations! That's awesome. Well done. Break a leg? I think that's the appropriate thing to say. But well done. Well done, anyway. Okie dokie. Shall I tell you a little bit about... C. Proteus. It's your first live stream. Hi, welcome. Welcome along. Shall I tell you a little bit about my research process for this video, and in particular about the books that I read? I know that you're all keen to hear about books, so let's get into it. My research process for this video started in a bit of a different way for me. I read a copy of the London Review of Books, which a friend of mine left in my flat. I'd never read it before, but I started looking at the adverts, because it obviously advertises new books that are coming out. What are people reading and writing about? Like, what are the intellectual circles of the world thinking about these days? I'll try and keep my, fingers on the pulse for Philosophy Tube. And I saw an advert for Stephen Kahn's book, The Lies of the Land, which you'll remember I referenced in the video. And I thought, well, that sounds kind of interesting. Maybe there's an episode in there about rural spaces and urban spaces. And I'd heard this idea before that, rural life is more authentic. And I was like, that's sort of philosophically loaded term. I'm interested in that. So I sort of make a note of it. And then I went and I watched a whole bunch of Not Just Bikes videos. I watched 4 or 5 of Jason's videos back to back, and I was particularly interested in the ones he made about suburbia being subsidized by urban areas, because that kind of blew my mind. And the idea of quantifying that in like a graph was fascinating to me. I never thought of doing that. I was like, oh, wow, that's really interesting. I bet my audience would be interested to hear about that. So that was sort of where I started. And that was the point at which I messaged Jason and said, hey, like, I think I want to do a video about this. I'm not sure what it is yet, but do you want to be there? And he was like, yeah, cool. So then I started like looking around YouTube and seeing, okay, what else have people made about like urban spaces and rural spaces? And I watched Elliot Sang's video, which I referenced in mine, which and then like he referenced David Harvey, so I was like, okay, make a note of David Harvey, come back to him. And I watched Thought Slime's video about homelessness, so I was like, okay, maybe there's like an angle about like homelessness and dehumanization in here as well. And who else did I watch? Oh, Frank Laundrie. I really enjoyed Frank Laundrie's video, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a really cool idea. Like, I really like what he's done there. And I made a note, like, I need to talk about like gentrification and that sort of thing. I had also heard about David Banks's book, The City Authentic, on an episode of Trash Future. So I made a note to read that too, and I did over the Christmas break. And then the twist was that I got sent an advanced copy of Judith Butler's new book, Who's Afraid of Gender? And I read that and I was thinking, okay, this is going to be the basis of like, this is going to be a basis of an episode later in the year at some point. But then the more I read of it, at some point my brain just went, oh, all this stuff about phantasms, that's related to the 15-Minute Cities conspiracy theory. I was like, oh yeah, because I had listened to an episode of QAnon Anonymous. I listened to QAA a fair bit. I like to listen to QAnon Anonymous when I'm doing like the housework, so I often, every time I listen to it, I like want to start hoovering. So I'd listened to the episode with Annie Kelly about 15-Minute Cities and found it fascinating. In particular because like Oxford isn't that far away from me, you know, these aren't like American QAnon people and it's easy to imagine they're elsewhere, like these are people in Oxford, you know. So I was like, oh wow, okay. And so I made the connection between Judith Butler's book and the 15-Minute Cities, and I was like, oh, that's the twist of the video. That's the bit where we go, whoa, and we kind of like we spin out into the second bit of it, right? And also I came up with that look, like the Phantom of the Phantasm. So I came up with this look, the cowgirl, and I thought that's going to be when we're talking about like countryside stuff and like what it means to be authentic. So it's like a down-home country authentic feel to it. And then for the Phantom of the Phantasm, I was like, okay, I want the kind of the personification of hidden truths, of like mystery, of like power, of seduction, of like some like being seduced by a dark and unknowable force. And so that's what this look was all about, the Phantom. Funnily enough, actually, so Brian, the Philosophy Tube stylist, and we went through a couple of different versions of this, of the serving country, the cowgirl look. And he offered me a few versions, and I was like, Brian, they're all a little bit risque. And something I had in mind was that people have said to me in the past, I love your videos, but I can't share them with my teachers or my class or my mum because sometimes the outfits are too sexy. And that was in particular something I got under the video about police. So I was like, okay, that's fair enough. So when Brian showed me 2 or 3 options for this cowgirl look that were very, very like revealing, I said, can we tone it down a bit? And so in the end we went with this, which is a little bit more wholesome. Like we've still got like a leg moment, which we love on Philosophy Tube. Yes, it was very comfortable to wear, actually, Merry Christmas. So comfortable, in fact, that I kept the boots. I kept the little fringed boots with them. Really nice. Jason Seacode says, awesome seeing you in the Brandon verse. Yeah, thank you so much. I had a blast filming that with Brandon when I was in LA. It was cool. So yeah, that was when I decided to like, I went back to Frank Laundrie's video and I rewatched it, and I realized I needed to do something. Thank you, Eliza Wheeler. I realized I needed to do something about gentrification, and I wanted to make it Britain. I wanted to make it British because a lot of and this is just something that like happens with my research, a lot of the material that I read, thank you, Amethyst, is American focused. And is like about American problems. And I was like, okay, I don't just want to make this like an American thing. I want to bring in a British perspective too. So I realized I kind of want to film in London. And I read Joy White's book, Terraformed, which sort of provided a really welcome British perspective on things. So yeah, that was good. And the rest of it was just kind of like filling in the blanks, to be honest. I went back and I read a lot of newspaper articles and academic papers and so on, but that was pretty much the research journey that I went on for it. Yeah. Thank you, Evie Rivka. What do you think about the homogenation of urban spaces globally? I'm not a big fan, but like we talked about that in the video. We talk about why that happens, you know. In the end, only the big corporate chains can afford to stay. Thank you so much, Via. Hey, it's your first super chat too. Your cowgirl look made me very happy. Well, hey, you should watch Django, because I'm all cowgirl all the time in Django. Like, let me take 5 or 10 minutes just to look at the chat here before we go into looking at the comments. Terran says yoga with Adrian is the best. Oh yeah, because it's my video recommendations. Yeah, I've been trying to do more yoga recently. It relaxes me. So I've been doing one of Adrian's 30-day things, and as you can see, I'm on day 13. I don't do them every day because I just don't have time. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. It's really nice. You know, I like to work out, and so much so that if I don't work out, I sometimes get a bit like edgy, not edgy, antsy. So I thought, oh, if I know a little bit of yoga, then as long, in particular, I was thinking about my trip to the US. I thought as long as I can take my yoga mat with me, I can kind of get a little bit of a workout and feel good about my body, even when I'm on the road. So that's kind of why I picked it up, and I've really been enjoying it. Like I do, stereotype, but I do kind of feel a bit better in my body, which is really nice. Isaac Lee says, was the prism a Zardoz thing? No, that's just a happy coincidence. Tiger says, I'm helping me understand a good friend who's bitten lost in a rabbit hole. Oh my gosh. I'm really glad, actually. Thank you. And it's your first super chat, too. You know, actually, let's talk about that a little bit, because you weren't the only person who said that. There were actually quite a few people who said something like this. Here's an example. That the section on phantasms helped them understand friends or relatives who've been radicalized, or who it's hard to talk to. I'm really glad you say that, actually. That feels like a really worthwhile and good thing for me to be able to help with. I'm a little bit proud I can help you with that. I hope it works. And I hope the next video, the one about Judith Butler's new book, will help with that a little more. Whilst also, you know, being a good introduction to Butler's philosophy. I've got fun plans for the next one. It's very ambitious. I think the next episode of Philosophy Tube will probably be out in May, which I know is a little time to wait. Part of the reason for that is I'm taking 12 days holiday at the start of April. I didn't take a holiday at all in 2023, and I need one. I need some time off. So I'm taking some time to go abroad and relax a little in April, hopefully. Because the rest of the year is going to get pretty busy. So, May, I think. Well, no, maybe. Yeah, I'll probably be out in May. Probably film it second half of April, but yeah. Gabriel VO, thank you so much. This is your first super chat too. Are you planning on making a video about urbanization in the third world? It kind of seems very similar to a topic that we just did. So maybe, but it's not on my list at the moment. Daniel Emmett says, what would you say is the most common or harmful phantasm in the progressive left? I don't know. That's a very interesting question. Probably depends where you draw the line of phantasm, but that's a thought-provoking question. I'll keep thinking on that. Answers on a postcard, please. Oh, thank you, says A Queer Theory. You're glad I'm taking time off. Yeah, I need it. I didn't take a holiday at all last year. Even December, which I normally take off, I was working for all of it. So I need to just relax a little, you know. But the next video I'm writing it at the moment, and it's coming on well. Yeah. Oh, Trin Cyborg has an interesting suggestion about phantasms. The most common phantasm on the left being thoughts about sex work. Yeah, you might be right there. You might be right. I'm really proud of the video that we made on that years ago. really, yeah. That's still one that I'm like, oh yeah, that was good. That was like a good thing to do. And like changed my opinions too. Yeah. Oh. Tissue Cat says, how much earlier do your videos go up on Nebula compared to YouTube? Usually about a week, at least. I usually aim for at least a week. Eliza Wheeler says, Westminster Council have been trying to gentrify Soho for years. Doesn't surprise me. Oh, thank you so much, says Evie Rivka. It's your 20th super chat on a live stream. Wow. Thank you. Amazing. I'm glad that the old heads from Philosophy Tube Live have found their way over. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tell you what though, let's look at some more comments whilst we're here. I really enjoyed, because people, I think because of the subject matter of this episode, they commented a lot telling me where they were commenting from. That was really nice that people was like commenting from Sydney and from the Philippines and from I think like Finland and Denmark and oops. Oh. Sorry, I just got a bit of echo on my end. I was like, oh, who's talking? Sounds like me. Yeah, so I really enjoyed seeing seeing all the different cities people were commenting from. That was really nice. Weird. Hi, Blunderscore. Oh, something else was quite funny is that there were a lot of comments about the bag of milk that Jason referenced. So in Canada, they do have bags of milk. Jason, that was like, I'm pretty sure you did that deliberately because I know you're a very skilled YouTuber. That was real good. That was real smart. That was real clever. I appreciate it. That's exactly the kind of thing that drives good engagement. Thank you so much, Renee Lenore. Thank you for such amazing representation for trans femmes, you say. Oh, thank you. What might get you to consider leaving the UK? Well, if Hollywood invites me, I would go. If there's the right role, and I might consider it. I do love LA. But also, like, you know, I have people here who I know and who I love that I would miss, and family here too, so... And also a lot of the American film industry is coming here now, so we'll see. We'll see. I'm trying to just stay flexible at the moment. Trying to have one foot in both countries, you know. And Brickitect, you left a message and then you took it back. Oh no, you're making your own digital city from scratch. Oh my gosh, wow, amazing. Well done. Oh, Zendo Crescendo says he's been doing the bag of milk engagement trick for a while. It's a Not Just Bikes classic. Nice. Very clever. Very, very clever. Clever engagement. Aldemert says, do you have any secondary thoughts when people classify your outfits as too risque? What do you mean secondary thoughts? Interesting phrase. Never heard that before. Secondary thoughts. All my thoughts are primary thoughts. I have tertiary thoughts? How many layers of thought do I have? Answers on a postcard, please. Safuya says, I saved this last video for my first day after surgery. It was worth the wait. Oh, hey, congratulations. And your first super chat too. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Oh, this comment, I want to take a moment to talk about this. Yana2041 left an amazing comment because they said that they wanted to talk about the 15-minute city conspiracy because they nearly got sucked into it, and they saw some misinformation about how the government are going to do this bad stuff, and they thought, the government have done bad stuff before, maybe this is real. And first of all, I just want to say to you, Yana2041, if you find the stream and you're watching, thank you so much for sharing that. That's like so thank you for being so honest. Thank you for being so vulnerable and like being open about your journey and about learning and being better. Like that's very much the Philosophy Tube way. So thank you, first of all, for being, you know, open about that. That's growth, you know. And secondly, like, this was a really fascinating insight because I myself have sometimes, you know, been in the same kind of danger zone as you. I've seen things online and I've gone, it's like activated my panic sensor. That's like, oh, in particular, like trans stuff, right? Which I worry about a lot politically. And so if I see like the government are planning to do this, like even if it's a long shot, like the new bill from whoever is like gonna like maybe do this, even if it's a long shot, you know, it activates my panic sensor and I have to be very careful because obviously I have a big trans following. I don't want to spread panic needlessly. So I sometimes have to check myself and go, just double check this. Am I spreading panic? Am I check this? Is this definitely accurate? Which is why often when I do tweet about trans stuff or post about trans stuff, you'll see it's worded very like dryly. I type like a news report because I'm like trying to take the emotion out of it. So thank you, Yana 2041, for being open about that. So yeah. Not just bikes. So Jason, you say that you wanted to avoid talking about 15-minute cities on your channel. Is that because you were worried about hate comments and conspiracy people? Because I gotta say, like, I didn't get many. I got like less than 10. I mean, I also do have the kind of patented Philosophy Tube digital safety net. But at the same time, like, even if you didn't have the digital safety net, I wonder how many like weird comments you would get. But yeah. Strange. Magna Hill says, I don't have any time to watch the stream right now. Will it stay on the channel after it ends? Yeah, I think it will do. I don't see why it wouldn't. I tell you what, it'll either be here or it'll be on my second channel, Philosophy Tube Live. You'll get to watch it somewhere. Leo H says, are we taking questions from chat? Yes. You just had one. I'm not going to read all of them. I don't have time to read all of them, or like I missed them. But yeah, if you want me to see it, then like super chat me if you want to ask me a question, or you don't have to super chat me if you don't want to. I'm going to charge you to ask me questions, but I guess it increases the odds that I see it because they stick around longer. But JR24 says, do you get recognized IRL? Yeah, that happens most times I leave the house now, which I don't mind. I always like meeting people and then saying hello. It does make it hard to date. It makes it hard to meet new people because I have a rule that I never date anyone who knows who I am. So it's sometimes a little difficult. But that happened recently actually. Somebody asked me out and they were like pretty and interesting and like they pretended not to know who I was, and then I found out that they already knew, and I was like, oh, that's such a shame. Like, don't deceive me like that, you know. I was interested and now I'm not. Hey Brickitect, it's your 20th super chat on the stream. There you go. Oh, not just Spike says even I get recognized sometimes, which really surprises me. Wow. Oh yeah, because you're just a voice a lot of the time, but it's quite a distinctive voice, I suppose. Pancaffle says, are you worried that this extra work and engagement you're adding with the short form content is going to feel too parasocial? Well, not really, because it's just the same streams I've already been doing for the last like 5 years, but now I'm doing them on my main channel, so like, I don't know. I guess if it does, let me know. Never date someone who knows who you are from online is a good attitude. Yeah, this makes things weird. If people have an idea in their heads of like what I'm supposed to be like based on my online content, which is quite different from how I am online. In fact, I was out last night at the theatre and I got chatting to somebody who was aware of who I was online, but like just kind of distantly. And then at some point they were like, "Oh wow, you're really not how you are on screen." I was like, "No, I'm quite different in real life." So, thanks, Owl. Bye. Have a good night. Hey, thank you so much, Werner Van Alphen, for that super chat. Hey, thank you. That means a lot to me. Thanks. I really appreciate that. BD Moore says, Abby, are you on Raya? No, I'm not, actually. I don't really do dating apps. I find that kind of difficult and time-consuming, you know? Also, I got banned from OkCupid and Field for impersonating Abigail Thorne, which is hilarious, but slightly inconvenient. But hey ho. Oh, I liked this comment from Kev Von Dragon, who said the fact that there was a conclusion to the video really helped them. Yeah, I'm glad. Like, so after the Stoicism one, a lot of people said they didn't feel like that had a proper conclusion, which was deliberate. I very deliberately did not give that one a conclusion. But then I said, part of me resisted when people said we want conclusions. I was like, no, just think about it, do the conclusion yourself. And then I was like, well, maybe it's actually a good idea to have a final section. So I very deliberately and consciously chose to give this video a conclusion, and the next one will have one too. So I'm glad that you appreciated it. Eliza Wheeler says, you were gracious when I screamed your name. When was that? I don't remember that. I'm usually fairly gracious when people scream my name. Oh, and then this one from Barefoot Fiona. I was just going to say, yes, I agree. We already talked about like American stuff, but yeah, for real. So before we look at the fan art, there was a question that I was asked by one of my patrons. So if you're a patron of mine on Patreon to a certain level, then you get to ask me a question, and I'll guys, guaranteed I will answer it on live stream. So just M, I guess like James Bond's boss is a patron, says, what would you like to see change in the representation of or engagement with philosophy in education and industry? So one thing that I noticed is that there's a lot of emphasis placed on philosophy as self-help, which is fine, and I get why that happens. But I think there's kind of I'd love to see more engagement with philosophy as like critical thinking, and that philosophy as a starting point for changing something. Because I think a lot of the time people cast around for values, to justify like changing a system, whether that be in like a business or politics or whatever. And I think there's a certain reluctance on behalf of people to be like, you very rarely see somebody say, well, such and such, the philosopher said this, and this is why I think it's a good idea. It's not something you hear very often. You don't really hear people go, oh yeah, I was like reading a philosopher recently who said this. Like, I don't know, and that makes me sad, because like the intellectual and philosophical history of our species is there for us all as a common resource. Like, these people didn't write these books for themselves. Well, arguably Wittgenstein did, but you know what I mean. Philosophical texts are written to help people think, and it's a shame. It'd be like if you were really passionate about designing elevators and you lived in a world where everyone just stubbornly took the stairs all the time and complained about how their knees hurt. It's like, oh, there's a perfectly good elevator if you want one, So I think I'd love to see more people engaging in like industry and entertainment with philosophy as a kind of like stimulus to critical thinking, rather than as just a kind of like, oh, I was depressed and then I read a little bit of like a summary of Nietzsche, right, or whatever, you know what I mean? Eliza Wheeler says, at Kim Petras, I was having a ciggy. I'm afraid I don't remember, but that means you didn't bother me. So, hey, Elite Aaron, it's your first super chat. Congratulations on getting your nails done. Tips for dealing with dysphoria. I have some thoughts on that. Let's not get into it, but congrats on getting your nails done. Good luck with the HRT. Someone has just texted me saying that they laughed out loud at something I said. Oh, I'm glad. I'm so funny. Oh yeah, last little thing. Fan art. We got this amazing bit of fan art from Emerald Zane 4516. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Let me move myself down here so you can see their name in the top right corner. Isn't that fantastic? Very like anime villain. Kind of like Queen Beryl, Very cool. Oh, that's a role I'd love to play. If they ever made a Sailor Moon film. Which they will at some point. Oh, you gotta get me as Queen Beryl. I always wanted to be Sailor Jupiter, because she's the tall one. She's trans. But yeah, look at that. Isn't that amazing? Tiga says, I recently read Caliban and the Witch. Oh, hey, thank you so much. Wow, Nose Chicky. Oh, that's Diane. That's you again, Diane. And your second one. Thank you so much. Glad you're taking time off to care for yourself and also Pilates helps. Thank you, Diana. Thank you. You're fantastic. It's good to be back. I'm gonna try not to do it. Good night, Tren. I'm really happy to be back. It's been a tough week, but it's nice to come back and be like, it's almost like coming back and doing a stream. It feels like playing in the home stadium. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like when I go out and I pitch series and when I like audition for stuff, it feels like I'm playing away. And now I'm like, I'm playing I'm playing on the home turf. So thank you. I really appreciate it. You're all super nice. Richard Burkus says the mental trap joke was funny. I'm glad you like it. I like that one too. Yeah. Oh, Katie Jackson says, what is the patented Philosophy Tube digital safety net? I don't know what that is. I'm just trying to do that. We're going to have to keep doing it now. So, before I came out, so YouTube allows you to mute certain words preemptively. So if anybody uses those words in your chat, the comment automatically gets muted. So before I came out, I put every like transphobic slur I could think of, every mention of my dead name, every like spelling of any of my like names, of like the names of a bunch of other creators who I often got abuse alongside of. Eliza Jane Smythe, thank you for that super chat. I don't think I've read any stuff about that, but like that sounds cool. So yeah, I created this like digital safety net. I don't know, I did it wrong. What did I do? Digital safety net. Digital safety net. Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? It's just the digital safety net. So there's like a whole massive list of words that you can't say to me. And also if somebody like I have like a bunch of rules, one of which is like zero tolerance on transphobia. So if somebody is like even slightly transphobic to me even once, I use the mute user function and they can never comment again. But they don't know that. They think they're commenting, but no one's replying. But actually YouTube just automatically deletes it. So I've woven a kind of digital safety net around myself. And you know, it's really funny because whenever I appear in videos on another channel and I go and look at their comments, I'm always like, whoa, where's all the there's like so much transphobia and like frankly misogyny too, and trans misogyny. We get the triple whammy there. Thank you, Alex Tilson. Go philosophy transformation secrets. You silly billies. So yeah, whenever I go and like see myself on someone else's channel, if they don't have a nice audience, I'm always just like, whoa, okay, this is what it's like being out in the wild. You know, this is just raw dog in YouTube, no protection. Eliza Wheeler says, I love that joke in the blooper reel. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. That was really funny. We had a lot of fun with this one. Filming this one was really fun because it was challenging because I was on location in London. That was the first bit of it I filmed with my friend Trinket, who's just been in chat, late of this chat, who helped me film that stuff. And then I went up to Newcastle with Mr. X, the Philosophy Tube camera operator, and we stayed overnight in a little hotel, and then we had breakfast, and then we went and filmed the stuff, and then we shot in studio with the whole crew. So it was like three days of filming. It was kind of challenging and expensive, but it was worth it. I just gotta get YouTube condoms. Oh god, like YouTube branded condoms would be so cursed. If someone's like, have you got protection? And then you like get out like a YouTube branded condom and it's like, you know what, never mind. Maybe actually that's the best kind of protection is YouTube contraceptives. Yeah, like and subscribe. Banning certain words is the prep of YouTube. What? Like it gives you IBS? Oh, Waluigi Fuck says I just posted my fan art on Tumblr. Okay, I'm gonna go and navigate to that now because Waluigi Fuck, it's always so good. Let me go. I'm just gonna search Philosophy Tube on Tumblr, Waluigi Fuck, and see if you tagged it. No, it doesn't look like you did. Waluigi Fuck, tell me what you tagged it with. Did I miss a super chat? Werner von Alphen says, when are you doing Dimension 20? I'm afraid I don't know what that is. Is it a podcast? Getting YouTube's tied? Hey! Well done. Well done. We got there. We got there. Why would you fuck? You said you did tag it. Let me try it again. Oh, maybe Philosophy Tube without a space. Let me try that. You know, I'm searching the Philosophy Tube tag on Tumblr and I'm just seeing a lot of weird abuse. So, let me just Waluigi. Are you on? No, that's okay. Getting some weird blogs. Oh no, you've just sent it to me. Whoa. Okay, cool. Let me try and download image now. It's gonna give me a webput, isn't it? I don't want a webput. I want a JPG. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Oh, it's giving me the JPG. Great, we've got a JPG. Okay, great. Let me go here. Hold on, I'm not looking at the chat right now because I'm trying to do this stuff. Okay, here we go. All right, we're gonna go comments and fan art. We are gonna go like we're gonna go window capture, and we're gonna go what are we gonna do? We're gonna go preview. No, it's not gonna do it. It's not gonna do it. Tell you what, we're gonna remove source, and then we're gonna add source, like a chef who can't make up his mind. Add source. No, we're gonna add a new source. We're gonna go window capture, add source. We're gonna go down here. So we're on absolute adventure here now. Okay, cool. Now we've added that, but it's now far too big. So let's just shrink that down. Here we go. Here we go. This is live PDF rotation, just to get your fan art on the stream, Waluigi Fuck, because I know. Let go, you silly window. Here we go. Here we go. There it is. Woo! There it is. Beautiful. Beautiful. Check it out. There it is. Isn't it fantastic? That's amazing. I love the background you've done there. What is the background? That's amazing. Thank you so much, Waluigi Fuck. Very cool. Very, very cool indeed. What's the background there with the little houses and the cars and stuff? What is that? Live PDF rotation. Thank you so much, Waluigi Fuck. I love it. Woo! Oh, it's a suburb. I thought it was like a specific reference to like a video game or something because it looked a little bit like Command and Conquer to me. Command and Conquer 1. But thank you so much. You always put so much effort into your fan art, Waluigi Fuck. I'm just in awe of your drawing skills. Thank you so much. Okie dokie. Well, why don't we hang out for like another, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes? I can just talk to the chat, take questions from the chat. I've covered everything I wanted to cover. Let me take my stream notes here. No, seems like it's all pretty cool. Just ticking everything off here. Yeah. So why don't we just hang out for another, like, 15, 20 minutes? Alex Tilson says, would you do a Tom Scott-inspired outfit? Well, Tom's a friend, and I'm not sure he'd appreciate that. So probably I wouldn't. Phoenix Fan says, is your shirt from the last episode an Easter egg? No. No, it's just a friend of mine gave it to me. Any good video games you're playing right now, says Sophie Semtex. No, I haven't been playing any games in a while. I haven't had time, unfortunately. Yeah, I haven't had a lot of time. Had you played D&D before voicing Nocturne in Baldur's Gate 3? I tried playing D&D years ago when I was in university, and I just wasn't really very good at it, and I just didn't really get the hang of it. Basically we all got too drunk, so not seriously now. Sambo Jaite says, would you recommend taking a public speaking class even if I have no intention of being an actor or presenter? If you want to, sure. If you'd like. Could be a fun skill. Oh, good question, Rose Sarafilovich. I'm the trans and non-binary rep for my university theatre. Is there anything in your professional career that you think I could tackle in an early stage to stop it becoming a problem with regards to trans stuff? I don't know. You see, there are some problems in my acting career that come as a result of being trans, but they're not so much as my fault as it's cis people's reactions, right? So if I don't get cast in something because I'm trans, then that's not really my fault. There's not really anything I can do about it. So no, I wouldn't. I even get used to speaking up, I guess, because you'll have to. I guess on quite a serious note too, be aware that, you know how people sometimes say that correctly say that the acting industry can be dangerous for women, that there are directors who will want you to do certain things in exchange for roles, or directors who will sort of take liberties with you. Not even directors, not just directors in fact, but producers and stuff. People in positions of power will expect certain things from women. No one ever talks about it, but if you're a trans woman, that absolutely still applies. 100%. People will try. And I guess it's not nice to say be ready for that, and if you're not ready for that, that's not your fault. It's not your fault if that happens to you, but I know trans actors who've been assaulted, for instance. And who can't talk about it, not only because of British libel law, but also because in Britain, the idea that a straight man would prey on a trans woman is something that a lot of people just aren't able to understand, because they'd be but he's straight, and it's yes, he is. So in fact, I have to be very careful what I say here. A friend of mine recently told me that she'd met somebody in the industry and was oh, I just met this guy, he's really cool, really interesting, and he's promised me XYZ, and I was just oh babe, no, he's the guy who attacked so-and-so last year and so-and-so the year before, major predator, don't go near him. She was oh my god, really, he's that guy? I'm yeah, don't do it, he's the guy that I warned my agent about, and my agent warned so-and-so, and yeah. There's a few people like that. I mean, the nature of British law is that it's very difficult to get these sorts of people fired, so you just kind of have to use the whisper network. But yeah, that stuff will definitely still definitely applies to trans women, unfortunately, and non-binary people too. There you go. Anyway, on a lighter note, acting is a very fulfilling and wonderful career. Pervert dodging aside, who are I stress, rare, present enough to be a pain in the ass, but rare. thankfully. Leo Benoit Charest says, have you heard of any advancements following your video on the British healthcare system? Advancements? No. Worsenings? Yes. Things have gotten worse, unfortunately. Much worse. Britain. Oh, Adam C says, not to derail the conversation, but that top is fire. Where did you get it? I got it from a thrift store in LA. It was nice. Me and my director, Valentina V, went out for just a day of like, it's a girls' day. we went, got some like nice brunch, and then we like toured the sights of LA, and then we went like thrift shopping, and I got like a couple new tops and a belt. You know, it was super nice. So, we had a good time. Then like chatted about art and stuff. It's cool. We went to the Oscars Museum, the Academy Museum of Academy Film of Academic Films and Museums. We went to the Oscars Museum. It was really fun. We had a good time. The girls. Says AJ, the girls. I went out. I was in a bar last night with a Zoomer trans woman who like unironically said the girls at one point, and I was like, what? Oh, right. That's really funny. Jason Seacoats, would you do anything with Lord of the Rings when it becomes public domain? I mean, I'd prefer to do something with Lord of the Rings now. I don't know. I like Lord of the Rings, but like, I don't know. Somebody just said, was this top like real thrift prices or like LA thrift prices? I don't know. I think it was something like $30, something like that. No, nothing. Not like bank break. Oh, hey, Rubberwed Stevington says, recently subbed, watched all the main show and The Prince and loved it. Hey, I'm really glad. Thanks so much. The goals. Sarah Filovich, the goals? The goals are coming up. Yeah, the goals, yeah. Okay, people are telling me LA thrift prices. Okay, maybe it was. Still, it was nice. Which thrift store? I can't remember the name. I'm afraid. I can't remember the name. It was Valentina's favorite. She'd be able to tell you. Excuse me. Abel Ferreira says, hello from a Brazilian communist. Hey. Hello to Brazil. I went. It was a thrift store near Cosmo's shop, which I don't know the name of. The shop that Cosmo runs, because I went in there for a bit and said hi to Cosmo and got a belt. So yeah. Oh, M Affinity says, thanks for your videos getting me single-handed through my politics essays for uni. Oh, thank you. Some people are asking me about acting roles that I haven't announced yet. That's weird. I'm not sure where you're getting your information from, but it's not from me. Hey, Eliza Wheeler, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And congratulations too. I mean, you did all the hard work, but I'm glad I could help. Amy Fist, Cosmo is a famous drag queen in LA who runs a clothing store. AJ says go to Washington, D.C. You know, I've never been to Washington. I've spent I used to be back and forth to the East Coast a fair bit because I used to date a girl who lived in a city on the East Coast. And I was back and forth there a lot. It was very close to D.C. But we never went up to D.C. I've done Boston, I've done New York, I've done Baltimore, but I've never done D.C. I should get there at some point. When do you get to announce Redacted and Super Redacted, says Amy Fist. I don't know. That's not up to me. Redacted told me that they were going to be announcing it in like a few weeks, but like they seem pretty loose on that. So also like the traditional marketing world where a lot of acting announcements get made and the digital marketing world by and large don't talk. So who knows? Who knows? Some of the older parts of DC have really good urbanism, says Jason. Oh, cool. Your hair looks good, by the way. Oh, thank you, Dreamy Star. I didn't think it looked good tonight. It's a bit... I need to get it done, actually. It's been a little while. I think I might get it done before I go on holiday, and then I'm, like, looking nice in my holiday pictures. That'll be nice. If it came up, would you do more sci-fi roles, says Adam C. Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to do sci-fi. I'd love to do some kind of, like, space thing. That'd be cool. And maybe I'd love to do more space things. Diana America Rivera says, did you drive in LA? No, I can't drive. I'm too gay. I haven't driven since the day I passed my test, actually. Which was like a long time ago. So, I don't know. Zaydan says, you ever run into many furries? I haven't met many, but the furries I've met have been really nice. Like my friend Casey's a furry. Casey Explosion. Lovely, lovely group of people. Oh, thank you, Maya. Appreciate it. Just dressed casual tonight, you know. Booby says DC has a pretty good queer scene. Yeah, I heard that. I've heard tell of the Greater Washington DC transgender polycule. Nice. But I've yet to have the pleasure. Mew Mew says, can you say anything about your role in Identities? Oh, I don't know what I'm allowed to say about Identities. But I know I had a great time doing it, and Don Delancey was super nice, and it was a really fun couple of days on set. I think I'm doing some ADR for that soon, so that'll be fun. What did you think of the Oscars, says Bethany Nicholas, and it's your first super chat. Oh my gosh, amazing. I have to say I didn't watch it. I was busy. I've been really busy. I didn't watch it. Sorry. And Eliza Jane Smythe says, can you do an essay about thrifting and flipping is affecting lower economic communities by driving up prices and making it expensive? That's an interesting phenomenon. It sounds like it's not enough for a philosophy tube episode, but I bet there'd be like... You know who'd be good for that? Shanspeare. I bet you the Shanspeare episode on thrifting would be really, really good. She'd talk about like thrifting and TikTok or something. Go down the hall and take that to Shanspeare's office and see what she says. Malice Ignatius says, as a genderqueer person who only figured out who they were in their late 30s, you really helped. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Jamie Quigley. Yeah, we talked about it. We did a whole section about it at the top. This is what I'm reading right now. I'm really enjoying it. Fast fashion as a philosophy tube episode. Yeah, again, like it sounds a little Shakespeare to me. It needs a twist. It needs a twist to get me interested. It's got to be fast fashion and other thing, you know. But you know, maybe. Der Troll says, any idea when Dracula's ex-girlfriend will come out? Well, I think we're aiming for this year, but it's not going to be up to me. I think a lot will depend on film festival schedules, because I know we want to submit it to film festivals. And a lot of film festivals insist that it can't have been shown anywhere else first. So for instance, if we want to get it in, I don't know, Cannes or Sundance, let's just say, right, as an example, they may insist it can't have already come out. So in that case, we may have to like make it and then wait for the submissions window. But we will see. We'll see. Yeah. Why don't we take another, 5 minutes, and then I think it's going to be sleepy time for me, because I'm going to have to download the VOD and send it to the editing team so they can all chop it up. So yeah, let's hang out for another 5 minutes. And then we'll go. Might make myself a nice cup of green tea. Kind of fancy some ice cream, but I better not. I'm going to be having cheesecake tomorrow because I'm going to go and see my friend Pierre tomorrow. I baked her and her wife. I'm going to see my friends Pierre and Pierre's wife Alice. And I baked them a lovely cheesecake, strawberry and raspberry cheesecake. So I'm going to have that. Axe Blood Theory, it's a short film. Pearl Plum Sparkle says, "Can we talk about the costumes in the latest video?" Yeah, we talked about them a little bit earlier on, but if there's anything specific you want to know, then. Eliza Wheeler says, "I joked with Morgana when you asked her to do Dex. She said, fuck yeah." Yeah, I mean, she was the one who like told me I should do it, because I was lamenting that I didn't have anything to do, and she was just like, "Why don't you just write a film?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I've got that idea. Do you want to be in a film with me?" And she was like, "Yeah." So, Left-handed said, "Did you hear Finster came out?" Yes, I knew that. I knew that was going to happen. As in, they told me that was going to happen long before it went public. So yeah, I done been new. So yeah. Brickatech, thank you so much for that super chat. I guess you could email it to me. But yeah, I already knew about that. I was briefed ahead of time. And you know, very excited and proud for them. Yeah, really happy for them. Such a sweetheart. Like, we went out for dinner a while ago, and like, yeah. Hadn't seen her in ages. And then we went out for dinner. Me and Finn and Finn's partner and a couple other people. It was having a really nice time. What a sweetheart. So Amy Fiss says, "I kind of assume Abby does not find out about fellow YouTubers from their videos." Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. Blue Sunrise says, "It's wild how every UK trans woman seems to know each other." Yeah. We don't all know each other, but like, there's definitely like, you know, there's the web. Her web connects us all. Madam Web. So yeah, you know, if you know a trans person, it's usually pretty easy somehow to get hold of a different one, you know. Yeah. Nale Miasma says, "What Judith Butler book would you recommend to someone new to their work?" You have to tune into the next episode, and you will find out. Abraham Muhammad says, "Are you a Mia fan? Do you mean Mia Mulder or like Mia Marchant?" I'm a fan of both those Mias, but like, yeah, there's a network, says Linny Beak. Yeah. Her web connects us all. All the famous UK trans women know each other. Yeah, not all. Because also the other thing you have to realize is there's like a lot of like know of, like have met, but also there's like inscrutable levels of like beef. Sometimes you'd be like, "Can I speak to this person?" And then they'll just go, "No, I hate her. Like, no, she was like really rude to me in 2007. Like, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of this, like, I don't speak to this person. And like, to be fair, I'm part of it too. There's like people in the community I don't speak to, and like people who've like, you know, wronged me, and I'm just like, no, I'm not associated with that person. But only the other day, somebody said to me, it was Roz Caveney asked me to introduce her to another trans woman, and I was just like, no, that trans woman and I do not speak ever. Like, we hate each other. No, never. And also, if you see her, don't tell her we're friends, because she'll fucking hate you. So there's a lot of like, you know, as there is in any like small community under pressure struggling, there's a lot of like, I mean, I exaggerated it a little bit, the comic effect. Like, it's not, it's not like a hatred. I was just like, nah, it's not really a contact I have. Yeah, so. Axpod Theory says nobody talks to Sophie from Mars anymore, apparently. Damn right. Damn right. Brought it entirely upon herself as well. Anyway, on that depressing note, let's stay a couple more minutes and like get the happiness back up. Do you know any of the Baldur's Gate 3 cast in real life? No, actually. Other than Beth, the director. I don't know any of them. I didn't record it with any of them, so. Okie dokie. Hey, Birdkeeper Toby! I'm just about to leave the stream, Toby, but it's good to see you. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go and have a nice cup of tea and send this this stream to the editing team so they can cut it down. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, everybody, for the first stream from the big channel that we've had in a while. Take it easy. Take it lemon squeezy. Have a great evening, everybody. I'm now going to click end stream.